At Christmas dinner, I found out my brother was using my name for credit cards. The fallout shattered our family's trust. So, I'm still shaking while writing this because it happened just a few days ago during what was supposed to be a normal holiday dinner. For context, I 24M have a younger brother, Jerry 21M. We've always had a bit of sibling rivalry, but nothing too crazy until this year. Our family does a big Christmas Eve dinner at my parents' house. My mom goes all out turkey ham, like 6 side dishes, the works. My dad usually drinks too much wine and argues with the TV. It's kind of tradition. This year my Aunt Lisa and cousin Megan also came. At first, everything was normal. Jerry showed up late, wearing this oversized hoodie and acting like nothing was wrong. He cracked a few jokes, made my mom laugh, and I thought, okay, maybe this dinner won't be a total train wreck. Then the weirdness started. My Aunt Lisa mentioned casually, "Oh hey, Jerry, did you ever sort out that credit card issue? You were saying something about it last week." Jerry froze mid-bite. I noticed it right away because he never shuts up usually. My mom, confused, asked, "Credit card issue? Jerry doesn't even have a credit card." Lisa blinked. He told me he was having trouble with his Chase account. Something about payments bouncing back under your name. Then she looked at me. "Actually, wasn't it your name, my name?" I swear, the whole room went silent except for my dad coughing into his wine glass. I felt this cold wave hit me because just last month I'd been dealing with some weird letters from banks saying thank you for applying when I hadn't applied for anything. I brushed it off thinking it was spam. I turned to Jerry and said, "What the hell is she talking about?" Jerry stammered, "Oh, it's nothing, Lisa just misunderstood." He shot her this panicked look, like begging her to shut up. But Megan, bless her drama-loving heart, jumped in. "Wait, are you seriously using his name for stuff? That's like fraud." She said it loud enough to cut through the silence. Mom's fork clattered onto her plate. "Jerry, tell me right now what's going on." Jerry snapped, "It's not a big deal, I just needed to get approved for something. They wouldn't give it to me with my credit, so yeah, I used his name, but it's not like I hurt anyone." I felt my face burn. "Not like you hurt anyone, dude. Do you realize what that does to my record, to my life?" The argument exploded right there at the dinner table. My dad tried to play peacemaker, mumbling about handing it tomorrow, but my mom was in tears, saying she couldn't believe Jerry would betray family like that. And all I could think was, how long has this been going on? How much damage has he done under my name? The shouting match at the table turned into something way bigger than I expected. Jerry kept insisting it was just one card, but I wasn't buying it. My mom demanded he hand over his wallet right then and there, which of course set him off. "Mom, seriously? You don't trust me?" Jerry snapped, crossing his arms. "Trust you?" I said, my voice shaking. "You literally just admitted to stealing my identity. Do you even understand how insane that is?" My Aunt Lisa was awkwardly pushing food around her plate, clearly regretting ever bringing it up. Megan, on the other hand, was leaning forward like she was front row at a drama show. "Come on, Jerry," she said. "If it's not a big deal, show them your cards." That set him off. He slammed his fork down so hot mashed potatoes splattered across the tablecloth. "You think I'm some criminal? You think I'm out here ruining his life? It was one mistake." My dad finally cut in, his voice stern. "Enough, wallet, now." When Jerry hesitated, my dad's face went red. "Don't make me ask again." Reluctantly, Jerry pulled his wallet out of his hoodie pocket and tossed it on the table. My mom, hand shaking, picked it up and flipped through. And then boom. She pulled out not one, but 2 credit cards with my name on them. I felt like my stomach dropped to the floor. "You've got to be kidding me." Jerry muttered, "It's not what it looks like." "Oh really?" I laughed bitterly. "Because it looks like you've been living as me." "How many cards, Jerry? How much debt?" My mom's voice cracked. "Jerry, why would you do this to your own brother?" Jerry wouldn't look at us. He just shrugged. "Because no one gives me a chance, okay? Every time I try, I get told I'm too young, too broke, not responsible enough." He pointed at me, "Gets everything. The jobs, the car loan, the credit score. I just wanted a shot." It was like someone punched me in the chest. "I get you struggling, but that doesn't justify destroying my life in the process." "Jerry, you don't get it," I said, my voice breaking. "If you miss one payment, that's on me. If you rack up debt, it's my name they come after. You could literally ruin my future." The table was silent except for Megan whispering, "Holy Dad finally spoke, calmer this time. "Jerry, this isn't just a family mistake. This is a crime. Identity theft. Do you understand the gravity of that?" Jerry scoffed, "You wouldn't actually report me. You're my family." The worst part, I didn't even know if he was right. Because in that moment, I was torn between wanting to protect him as my brother and wanting to protect myself from him. That holiday dinner ended with Jerry storming out, slamming the door so hard the windows rattled. My mom cried into the cranberry sauce, my dad poured another glass of wine, and I sat there staring at those 2 fake cards with my name on them, wondering how deep this mess really went. The next morning, I woke up still replaying the dinner in my head. I couldn't shake the image of those 2 cards sitting on the table with my name, but not mine. My phone buzzed with a notification, another payment reminder from a bank I didn't recognize. That's when I knew this wasn't just one mistake. I called the number on the letter I'd gotten weeks earlier and gave them my actual info. After 10 minutes on hold, a rep came back and said, "Sir, your account is overdue by $1482. My stomach dropped. "I don't even have an account with you." The rep sighed. "It was opened under your name and social security number 3 months ago." 3 months. That lined up perfectly with when Jerry had suddenly got a new job and started showing up with new clothes, always flashing cash. I thought he was finally pulling his life together. Nope, he was pulling me apart behind my back. I hung up and immediately called my mom. She answered, her voice groggy from crying all night. "Mom, it's worse than we thought," I said. "There's at least one account already in collections, over $1,000 in my name." She gasped. "Oh my god. Where's Jerry?" "He didn't come home last night. He's ignoring my calls." I cursed under my breath. At that moment, I knew I couldn't just wait for him to grow up. I had to find out everything. So I drove over to his crappy apartment, more like a glorified dorm room he shared with 2 friends. One of them, Matt, entered the door, scratching his head. "Yo, Jerry's not here, man. Left with some girl last night." I pushed past him and said, "I need to see his room." Matt frowned but didn't stop me. Jerry's room looked like a hurricane had hit it. Clothes everywhere, pizza boxes stacked like Jenga. But what caught my eye was a shoebox half buried under dirty laundry. Inside, envelopes, statements, even a fake ID with my name but Jerry's picture. My hands started shaking as I flipped through them. At least 4 different cards. One statement showed a charge for $800 at Best Buy. Another had multiple Uber Eats orders at 3 a.m. and all of them tied back to me. Matt peeked over my shoulder and muttered, "Damn, I told him this was a bad idea." I whipped my head around. "You knew?" He put his hands up defensively. "Bro, I didn't know it was your name. I just thought he was hustling the system or something. I didn't think he was screwing over his own brother." I stuffed everything back in the box and stormed out, my heart pounding. By the time I got back to my car, Jerry was calling me. I almost didn't answer, but something in me needed to hear what he had to say. His voice was calm, almost smug. "So, you found the shoebox, huh?" I froze. "What the hell, Jerry? Do you even realize what you've done?" He laughed bitterly. "You think I care? You've had everything handed to you. This is the only way I could even the score." That was the moment I realized this wasn't just desperation. This was betrayal. I gripped the phone so hard my knuckles went white. Jerry's smug tone made my blood boil. "Even the score?" I snapped. "By wrecking my credit and lying to my face, you didn't even anything. You just screwed me over." Jerry scoffed. "Oh, spare me the moral lecture. You don't know what it's like to be treated like the screw-up all the time. You've always been the golden boy. Mom and Dad brag about you non-stop and invisible unless I mess up. So yeah, I used your name. At least then I mattered. I stand more than I wanted to admit. Jerry, you don't matter because of credit cards or loans. You matter because you're my brother. But you went behind my back and proved my trust. That's not jealousy, that's sabotage." Silence on his end. Then he muttered, "Meet me at the park. We'll talk in person." Something about his tone put me on edge, but I agreed. An hour later, I pulled up at the old basketball court we used to hang out at as kids. Jerry was already there, pacing in circles, hood pulled up, hands jammed in his pockets. As soon as I got out of the car, he barked, "So, what? You gonna call the cops on me? Get your perfect little record back by throwing me in jail?" I walked closer, my voice low but firm. "I don't want to call the cops. I want you to fix this. You're my brother, Jerry, but you've put me in a corner. Do you realize how serious identity theft is? You could ruin my chances of buying a house, a car, even a job, could reject me for bad credit, all because of you." Jerry's eye flickered with guilt for just a second, but then he squared his shoulders. "You think you're so much better than me, but let me tell you something, this card's that debt. It's not just a phase. I can't stop now. People are expecting money back. If I don't pay, they'll come after me." I froze. "What do you mean, people? Who are you involved with?" He looked away. "Doesn't matter. Just know that walking away isn't an option for me anymore." That's when it clicked. This wasn't just him being reckless. He'd gotten himself tangled in something bigger, something dangerous. "Jerry," I said carefully, "you have to come clean before it gets worse. We can work this out with the banks, but if you're mixed up with guys who loan you money..." "Shut up," he snapped, stepping closer, his face twisted with anger. "You don't get it. You've never been desperate like me." I felt my body tense as he got in my face, practically shaking with rage. For a second, I thought he was going to swing. My fist clenched automatically, adrenaline surging. "Go ahead," I whispered. "Hit me, see if that fixes anything." He stopped, breathing hard, his fist trembling in the air, then slowly lowered it. His eyes were wet, but his jaw was clenched like stone. "This isn't over," he muttered, then shoved past me and disappeared into the dark. I just stood there, my chest heaving, realizing the person I thought I knew as my brother might already be gone. By the time I got home, my parents were pacing the living room, panic written all over their faces. Mom spotted me first and ran over. Did you talk to him? Is he okay?" I rubbed my temples. "I don't know. He's angry, scared, and then over his head." Dad sighed, running a hand over his face. "We should have noticed sooner. I mean, we've all been so busy, and I don't know. How bad is it?" I shook my head. "Worse than you think. There's debt, multiple credit cards, unpaid bills, and now he's involved with people I don't even know, people loaning him money, maybe even dangerous people." Mom gasped. "Oh my God, our baby boy." I bristled at that. "Mom, he's not a baby. He made his choices, and now we're all paying for..." Megan, who had come over to check on everyone after the dinner disaster, chimed in. "So, he's serious? This isn't just a joke or teenage rebellion?" I shook my head again. "He's serious and desperate. I think he's scared for more than just getting caught. He's, I don't know, tangled with the wrong crowd." Lisa, my aunt, who had stayed for support, frowned. "So what can we do? You can't just let him destroy your credit, and he can't handle this alone." I swallowed hard. "We need a plan. First, I'll call the banks and freeze the accounts. Then, we confront him, but carefully. I don't want him running into these people thinking he can handle it himself." Mom nodded, tears glistening. I can't believe this happened in our family. How could he betray you like that?" "I don't know," I muttered. "I want to help him, but trust is broken. He doesn't even see the damage he's done." The next day, I spent hours on the phone with banks, freezing accounts and explaining the situation. The reps were professional but stern. "Sir, identity theft is serious. We need you to file a police report." I paused. Filing a report felt like stabbing him in the back, but at the same time, it was necessary to protect myself. I knew that if I didn't, Jerry's actions could ruin my entire future. Then Dad suggested something. Maybe he needs to see a counsellor, not just for the debt, but for why he thought this was okay. There's something deeper here. I nodded reluctantly. "Yeah, but he has to want it. He can't be forced." That night, I texted Jerry, telling him we needed to talk, that it was serious. Hours passed with no reply. And then finally, a single message, "Don't know if I can fix this." That hit me harder than anything he'd said in person. He wasn't being defiant this time, he sounded lost. I realized then that the real damage wasn't just the stolen identity or the bills, it was the fractured trust, the fear, and the helplessness on both sides. We didn't know if we could repair it, but I had to try. A few days later, Jerry finally showed up at the house. He looked smaller somehow, hoodie pulled tight, eyes darting around like he was expecting someone to jump out and yell at him. Mom tried to hug him, but he stiffened. I stayed back, arms crossed, trying to keep my anger in check. He started, voice barely above a whisper. "I didn't mean to." "Don't," I interrupted, taking a deep breath. "Just don't start with excuses. We need facts." Dad gestured toward the kitchen. "Let's sit." We all gathered around the table, the same one where the holiday dinner had exploded. Sherry pulled out the shoebox of statements and cards. I tried to pay some of it back, he admitted, voice shaking. "But there's more than I can handle, and I owe people now, people I shouldn't have gotten involved with." Megan's eyes widened. "People? Like who?" "I don't know exactly," he said. "Some guys from online, they said if I don't pay..." Bad things happened. I panicked. My mom gasped, clutching Dad's arm. Jerry, I know I broke your trust, he said, finally looking at me. I thought I could fix it before anyone found out, but it got out of control. I wasn't thinking about how it hurt you. I stayed silent, staring at him. Part of me wanted to scream. Part of me just wanted to hug him and never let him go. But I knew this wasn't over, not legally, not financially, not emotionally. We're going to fix this, I said finally. Step 1, banks. Step 2, police report. Step 3, figure out who you owe money to and how to pay it back safely. Step 4, counselling. Jerry nodded, almost imperceptibly. I'll do whatever it takes. Mom reached over and held his hand. We'll help you, Jerry, but you need to be honest with us from now on. No more secrets. He swallowed hard. I can't promise I'll be perfect, but I'll try, I swear. We spent the next hour making a plan. I called the banks again with Jerry present, explaining the fraud and making arrangements to pay off the smaller debts. I could see the relief in his eyes, but also fear of facing the larger consequences. It wasn't just about money. It was about trust. Every time I looked at him, I remembered that holiday dinner, the slamming doors, the stolen identity, the lies. Rebuilding that would take time. But as Jerry left that night, I felt a tiny spark of hope. Maybe this nightmare wasn't the end of our relationship. Maybe, just maybe, it could be the start of something better if he actually stayed honest and took responsibility. I knew it wouldn't be easy. The shadow of betrayal would linger. But for the first time since that Christmas Eve, I felt like we could survive it. The weeks after that night were tense but slowly productive. Jerry and I spent hours going through statements, logging transactions, and calling creditors. Each call was a reminder of how deep the mess went, but also a step toward fixing it. I kept a running list of what had been paid, what needed payment plans, and what would require professional help. Mom and Dad stayed close, but gave us space. Mom made sure Jerry ate properly and didn't disappear for days, while Dad helped me navigate the legal side of filing the official police report for identity theft and getting statements documenting the fraud. It was uncomfortable, but necessary. Jerry attended his first counselling session a week later. He was stiff at first, arms crossed, eyes down, barely speaking. But the counsellor was patient, asking about why he felt he had to do this, what pressures he was under, and how he viewed trust. Slowly, Jerry started opening up. It's not just about money, he said one evening after a session. I always felt like I had to prove something, like everyone was looking at me and seeing a loser. I thought if I had your name, your record, I could finally be seen. I swallowed the lump in my throat. Jerry, you don't need to do that. You're my brother. I already see you, Mom and Dad see you, but stealing my life doesn't make yours better, it just makes everything worse. He nodded, finally meeting my eyes. I get it now. I was stupid. I'm sorry for everything. It wasn't instant forgiveness. Trust doesn't rebuild overnight. But over the next few weeks, we started small. I let him handle a few small bills under supervision. We had honest conversations, even arguments, without secrets or lies. He gradually admitted every account, every debt, every little deception, and together we started fixing it. Family dinners became cautiously normal again. Mom still had tears when she thought about it, and Dad still kept an extra eye on him, but the tension lessened. Megan and Aunt Lisa visited again, and for the first time in months, we laughed not just out of habit, but really laughed together. One night, sitting on the couch after dinner, Jerry turned to me and said quietly, I know it's not enough, but thank you for not hating me forever. I sighed. I can't promise I won't get mad if you slip up, but I can promise I'll try to trust you again, little by little. He smiled faintly, the hoodie gone, just his normal messy hair and eyes that finally looked a little lighter, a little freer. It'll take months, maybe years, for the credit stuff to be fully fixed. And some scars, broken trust, sleepless nights, family fights will linger. But for the first time since that disastrous holiday dinner, I feel like Jerry and I are on the same side again. We're not perfect, and we're definitely not back to where we were. But there's hope. And after everything, hope feels like a big deal. Because even after betrayal, even after identity theft, family can still find a way to rebuild if you're willing to face the mess together.